Hey guys, and welcome to another video on the channel, and today we're talking about the World Cup England squad. Before we start though, I just want to remind everyone that if you'd watched the first video on this channel this year, I did mention that in June and July we will be doing World Cup content during the World Cup, and that is still going ahead. So I look forward to making a lot of football content because that's something I'm very passionate about, football, if you know me. During that time there still will be other types of content on the channel, but it will be very heavily World Cup based. So I just wanted to get that out there. In today's video I'm going to say what my 26-man England squad would be for the World Cup, and it's probably not going to be what Thomas Tuchel is going to pick. Now this is a mix between what I would personally pick and what I think he's going to pick, so we'll go through the players. We'll also mention players that aren't involved in my list and why I think they're not involved for a certain reason. Firstly, I just want to say about Thomas Tuchel, he is our best chance of winning this World Cup. I'll do my predictions closer to the time. I do think England will win this World Cup, and he is a massive reason for that. I think he's a brilliant manager. Let's hope he picks a brilliant squad. Starting with the goalkeepers, and I feel like this is pretty obvious now. For some reason, you have to pick 3 goalkeepers for a World Cup squad. I mean, I get it, but also you kind of wasted a slot with how much potential of players we've got. The number one is Jordan Pickford. It's always Jordan Pickford. It's always been Jordan Pickford, and it should be Jordan Pickford as well. He's been England number one for God knows how many years now. I feel like now it's just, I feel like before it was a bit of a debate. Now it's kind of just, we go along with it, Jordan Pickford. So Jordan Pickford is the first player in the squad. His backup will be Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson having a good season at Crystal Palace in my opinion, even though Crystal Palace have fallen off a little bit since the start of the season. Obviously ex-Man United as well, so I've always been a Dean Henderson fan, and he's a very good number 2 to have, so no problem with him. And then for the third goalkeeper, you could go Aaron Ramsdale, and I wouldn't really have a problem with you. You could go James Trafford, and I'd probably have a problem with you. I'm going to go Nick Pope. I think Nick Pope just has that experience, and he's a different type of goalkeeper to the other two as well, so if we wanted to play a certain way of a goalkeeper, I guess you could do that. I mean, I'm clutching at straws a little bit here. Them 3 pick themselves, so good job we've got the goalies out of the way. Now we get on to the debating ones. Right backs first, and I think the first right back is obviously Reece James, Chelsea captain. Currently recording this video, he's actually just got a knock for a few weeks, so hopefully he doesn't get injured. That's always the problem with Reece James, but there's no denying his quality. Arguably the best right back in the league and the world, I would say. I mean, I think Hakimi's definitely up there as well, and obviously Diogo Dalot. No, but seriously, Reece James, I mean, obviously he's a Tuchel favourite as well, and quite rightly. He's a leader, got so much quality, he can play multiple positions. Reece James is, don't need to say much more about Reece James. At right back as well, because he can also play left back, this player as well. I'd go Tino Livramento. I think he's done really well for Newcastle since he's been there. Like I said, very diverse, he can play left back, right back, energy, quality, very good player. Come to Man United, please. And then my final right back, I haven't gone with Kieran Trippier, who I do think is still pretty good. I think he's actually retired from international football, as has Kyle Walker recently. I've gone for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now that could be a bit of a debatable one. I personally think if you have a choice to bring Trent or not, you take him. He's not going to play every minute of every game, but he is a different type of player we could have. He can unlock a defence. Personally, never been the biggest Trent fan. Obviously, he played for Liverpool, which kind of sways my bias, but I think you should take him for this tournament. To have him in the squad as an option, I think would be right. And like I said, I'd have him over the likes of a Kyle Walker or a Kieran Trippier anyways, even if they hadn't retired. So, no, I think, do we need 3 right backs? No. Not really, but when I get to the rest of my squad, you'll see why I've put him in there. By the way, anyone says, oh yeah, you can play midfield as well. No, he can't. He's shit. He's shit in midfield. Stay at right back. Moving on to the centre-backs. I've only picked 4 centre-backs. First centre-back I've picked is Mark Gahey. Very, very good season he's had at Crystal Palace, and he's continued that season on at Manchester City. He's fit right. He's fit right in, really. Which is annoying because I hate Manchester City. He's probably England's best centre-back, quality-wise, and also, he's still quite young, Mark Gahey. He's really good in the tackle, good in the air. Yeah, I think he'll probably be one of the first names on the team sheet. The second centre-back I've chosen is John Stones. I think John Stones is England's best centre-back when he's fit. I don't know how much he's been playing for Manchester City because I don't watch Manchester City because they bore me to death. I think if John Stones is fit, he goes. He's always been a good centre-back, John Stones, and I hate to say, like I said, I hate to say that. The third choice at centre-back for me is Ezri Konsa. He's heavily featured as well in Tuchel's squads in the qualifiers. I like Ezri Konsa. I do. I think he was Villa captain at some point, but he's not anymore. Or was that Mings? It might have been Mings, actually. I don't know. I think he's pretty decent on the ball. He's relatively quick. I think he's just a solid option to have in the squad. He might even start. which I would be a bit reluctant to start him. But I think he is a good player. And again, I think he's had a good season. He definitely should be going. The final centre-back. Brace yourself. This isn't bias either. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. Get Slabhead on that plane. I mean, he might weigh it down, but just get him on it anyways. I watch Man United every week, every game. Well, it's every other week at the moment because we only have one game to play. Because we're out of everything. Harry Maguire has been heavily criticised the last few years. Like, he has. As being a donkey and terrible. Harry Maguire this season and last season as well, I said the last few seasons, has been very reliable. He's very good in the air, everyone knows this already. Yes, he's slow, but put someone quick next to him, it's fine. And he's a leader as well. Look at this squad of England players. There's a lot of youth. Yeah, there's a lot of tournament inexperience, in my opinion. Harry Maguire has experience in abundance. And would I start Harry Maguire? No, I wouldn't. After this, I'll get into what I think my starting 11 would be. And spoilers, Harry Maguire's not in it. But I think he should definitely be going because I think he's good enough. I do think Dan Burn is actually quite unfortunate to miss out. I mean, I'm not the biggest Dan Burn fan. Obviously, Dan Burn can play left back as well. I think Dan Burn would be brought for his height. And if you're bringing Maguire, you don't need to bring Dan Burn. So that's my reason for that. Moving on to the left backs, there's two. And the first one for me is Lewis Hall. I actually think Lewis Hall is one of the best left backs in the league, and I think he's been very underutilised for England. So it's time we got that up. He's another player that if Man United went to go and buy, I'd do a backflip off my table. Yeah, I really would. So yeah, Lewis Hall's in there for me, and also Nico O'Reilly. He's had a really good season at Manchester City, breakthrough season. He can play midfield as well, but I'd obviously get him in as a left back. No, he's been really good, far beyond his years, in my opinion, as well. Nico O'Reilly, I'm a big fan of him. Again, Man City, fuck's sake. And no Luke Shaw. I know people have been vouching for Luke Shaw to be in this England team, been saying he's having a good season. He's not having a good season. It's delusion. Yeah, he can't run anymore. He's not getting as injured as much because he's not running as much. He doesn't put crosses into the box. His defending is lackluster, in my opinion. He ducks out of too many 50-50s, and we can't be having that this time around. I know he scored that iconic goal in the Euros final. God knows how long ago. We didn't win it. And then Luke Shaw was really good. He was a really good left back. Now, yes, he's experienced, but I just don't think you can put him above a Nico O'Reilly or Lewis Hall, quality-wise for me. So I'm not taking Luke Shaw. Now into the midfield, and we're going to start with the centre mid CDM's sort of position. First one is an obvious one, Declan Rice. Arguably player of the season in the Premier League this season, and he's going to win the league at this rate, which I fucking hate saying. Declan Rice is very close to the complete midfielder, in my opinion. He can score goals, he can defend, he can take free kicks, he's really good at corners as well, which I think is an underrated, quality of his. So Declan Rice would be in. I'm not going to say much more about Declan Rice. I think the second midfielder next to him should be Elliot Anderson. He won't be at Nottingham Forest next season. I think he might be at Manchester City again. Yeah, to me, Elliot Anderson is the perfect number 6 to put next to Declan Rice. And we've seen that proven in some of the qualifier games. When we've been playing them, we've looked unstoppable in the midfield, unbreakable. He's so good on the ball, so composed on the ball. Third midfield player I would pick is Adam Wharton, another player who I don't think will be at his respective club next season. Adam Wharton's really good on the ball, really composed as well for a player of his age. And I think he's just become a solid Premier League midfield player. And I feel like we need to just keep him going, keep him playing. And he'll be going anyways. I don't really know why I'm even talking about Adam Wharton. He'll definitely be going. And the final centre midfielder that I've picked, reluctantly so, is Jordan Henderson. Now, I don't like Jordan Henderson, okay? For obvious reasons, I don't like Jordan Henderson. But what I will say is he brings experience. For some reason, Thomas Tuchel, I always used to think, why is Thomas Tuchel and all these other managers obsessed with picking Jordan Henderson in the England squad? And now I've kind of come to the conclusion, if he's not playing from the start, I don't really care. To me, Jordan Henderson's there because he's a good lad. Should you get picked for being a good lad? No. But sometimes you need cohesion in a camp, and you need experience. You need players that know how to get over the line. He's won the Premier League, he's won the Champions League. Would I rather have Jordan Henderson than Kobbie Mainoo? No, of course I wouldn't. Kobbie Mainoo's a far superior footballer to Jordan Henderson. But we've got some good footballers in there with Rice and Anderson, so I'm going to pick Henderson. I think if Kobbie Mainoo had played from the start of the season like he's been playing for Manchester United in the last few months, he'd be in the squad pretty easily. I just think the fact he's not been in any camps so far means he's not going to get picked. And I love Cobby. I think he's brilliant, and I think he is a future England legend and obviously Manchester United legend. Hopefully, I can't believe we nearly got rid of Cobby, by the way. But I think Amarim's fucked him, to be honest with you, this season, and it's one of them things he's just going to have to learn from it and move on. But hopefully he can just stay fit over the summer and have a good season next season. Also want to give one more shout out to someone else as well. Dan Potts at West Ham. Now West Ham are not having a good season. They're not. They're near the relegation battle. But Dan Potts I've been really impressed with, and he won't go to the World Cup at all. But I think he'll definitely be getting a cap sooner rather than later. I think he's a very underrated player, and I think people with ball knowledge will know what I'm saying. I really think he's a really good number 6. Now moving on to like the attacking midfield region. I mean, there's 3 players here. They're pretty self-explanatory. The first one is Jude Bellingham. I mean, the people that think Jude Bellingham shouldn't be in the England squad, you need your head check in, because you're not okay. Jude Bellingham is still one of the best midfielders in the world, in my opinion. And when he's on it, he's better than most. So I know he's been injured a lot, but hopefully he'll be back by then, and he should be in the squad 1,000,000%. And if he's got this thing with Tuchel that's a problem, sort it out, man. Who gives a shit? The second attacking midfielder is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer to me is one of my favourite players in the world. I know that's annoying to say again because he's a Chelsea player, hopefully soon to be Man United player. I just love the swag Cole Palmer plays with. I think he's so entertaining to watch. I think it also is funny to me that off the pitch he just doesn't give a shit. You can just tell he doesn't care about football at all. He'll definitely be going. Everyone says that Cole Palmer's a penalty merchant. Just have a day off. And the third attacking midfielder I've picked is Phil Foden. Now obviously I know all these players can play along the free, and that's fine. Phil Foden, I again have never been a massive fan of like everyone else has, but I do respect Phil Foden. I think he's a good footballer. And again, he's a player that can win you a game, and he is a very techie player. He's probably one of the better footballers we have in the squad. So yeah, definitely pick Phil Foden at number 10. Again, someone I just want to shout out, Morgan Gibbs-White for Nottingham Forest, again, who are struggling this season. He's done really well, and I think if he played for a better team, he'd be in for more of a shout. But no, Morgan Gibbs-White is unfortunately not going to be in the squad. And now onto the fun bit, the attackers. This is going to be controversial. On the right, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Bukayo Saka. Is he having the best season numbers-wise of his career? No. But Saka is always a threat, in my opinion. I think he needs to simplify his game a little bit. I think he's taking too many touches. But he is a big threat, and defenders will not want to play against players like Bukayo Saka. So he's definitely going to be going. And also on the right, I'm picking Noni Madueke. Now, I think Noni Madueke on his day is a very good player. I think he's very direct. I think he's very hard to get the ball off because he's very not techie, but like unpredictable. I think having Noni Madueke as a backup winger is fine. He's fine, and he's been in the squad a lot. He's played a lot under Tuchel. He'll be going. Now for the left hand side, I've actually picked 3 players for the left hand side. First one is Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon's not had the greatest numbers season either. I think he's a good player. I think he brings balance to the England team. Morgan Rogers is the second one to me. Morgan Rogers maybe shouldn't even be starting in this team. He's had a really good season. Morgan Rogers is a quality player anyways. And if he leaves Aston Villa in the summer, he'll be going for probably north of 100 million. And again, he's been really good for England. I know he's been playing number 10 for England a lot. I think his best position is off the left. So I would like to see him there. And third and final is Marcus Rashford. Now I think Marcus Rashford has had a good season at Barcelona. I think people are rating it too highly, in my opinion. His numbers aren't brilliant. What I will say about Rashford is it looks like he's got his confidence back, which has always been the problem with Rashford. Rashford is the biggest confidence player I think I've ever known to man. I like Rashford. I've always liked Rashford. Do I think he should come back to Manchester United? No, absolutely not. Stay away. But he's always been pretty good for England, Rashford. And I think they'll pick Rashford. And I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Rashford, because I've said for a long time, I always thought the best front three for England that was the most balanced, and maybe not name for name, was Saka on the right, Rashford on the left, Harry Kane down the middle. We've only seen that a handful of times, but when we have, we've won every game. So I could see Rashford starting in the World Cup. And now for the 2 strikers, it's pretty self-explanatory. The first one's Harry Kane. He's the best player in our team by an absolute mile. He's still one of the best strikers in world football. I love the man. I wish he's one player I wish had played for Manchester United in his career. Yeah, but Harry Kane can do everything. Is he rapid? No. Apart from being fast, he can pass, he can score, he can make goals, he can head the guard. I love the man, he's brilliant. And the second striker I'd pick is Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins isn't having a great season either, but he's always been pretty decent for England as Harry Kane's backup. We just need someone to fill that position. If Harry Kane gets injured, we're fucked. So we need to make sure, buy and wrap him up in cotton wool, please. The attacker's missing out, unfortunately. I would like to give a shout out to Danny Welbeck, first of all. I don't know how old Danny Welbeck is. I think he's like 36, 35, 36. He's been brilliant. Brilliant he's been this year. And last year as well. He's been really good, Danny Welbeck. So, I mean, he could even get picked. He could. I don't think he will, but he could. And, you know, good. Well done to Danny Welbeck. Harvey Barnes, I actually think scored more goals than Anthony Gordon this season. I might be wrong with that. I like Harvey Barnes. I've always been a Harvey Barnes fan. Harvey Barnes, I don't think you're going to get picked, but I'd like to shout you out. Jack Grealish is another player. I think if he'd not got that injury at Everton, he was on course to be in the England squad this summer. Hopefully Jack Grealish can get back there and get his quads out. Ivan Toney is also someone I just want to say. I think if Ivan Toney hadn't gone to Saudi, he would be the backup striker to Harry Kane. I really do. I think he's another player who's basically got it all. He can win a header, he can take penalties, he can score left foot, right foot. So yeah, a bit of a shame about that one. And the last player, I don't want to stay on this for too long because it's controversial. Mason Greenwood. His numbers have been really good this season, and obviously he's not going to get picked for obvious reasons that we're not going to go into. But I still don't think anyone could take away the quality of player he is, and if said things had occurred, he'd be in the squad in my opinion. So that is my 26-man England squad. I'm just going to go through what I think the starting 11 should be for the first game against who we got, Croatia or Albania, or no, not Albania, Croatia. Hang on, I'm going to get this off the top of my head. Ghana, Costa Rica. I got it. I mean, the first game's against Croatia, so I would go Jordan Pickford in goal. I'd go Reece James right back, Lewis Hall left back, two centre backs Mark Gahey and John Stones. I'd go a midfield 2 of Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson, number 10 of Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka on the right, Morgan Rogers on the left, and Harry Kane up front. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys think I've missed anyone from this England squad, or you don't agree with my starting 11. Let me know your starting 11 in the comments. And to be honest, I just can't wait for the World Cup. I'm really excited for the World Cup. I always love the World Cup. I think it really brings out the fun in football, and I feel like people don't care as much about international football as club football, but it makes it more enjoyable to watch and to be involved with. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Take care and peace.